Dentists, office managers, and staff do not negotiate your own PPO reimbursements. My name is Phylip Curtis, the Director of Sales and Marketing at Unitas PPO Solutions, and in this video, I'm going to reveal the top 5 reasons you should never negotiate your PPO reimbursements on your own. So be sure to stay tuned because at the end of this video, I'm going to reveal the number 1 most important little-known reason to never negotiating your own PPO reimbursements. This last reason has easily cost practices nationwide tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars annually. It's the most overlooked and misunderstood PPO problem that dentists face, and they just don't even know about it. All right, let's dive in. Number 5, you may waste time negotiating the wrong procedures. All right, if you're watching this video, then you likely own or you work in a dental practice. If you're like most dental practices, your PPO reimbursements are probably much lower than you want them to be. In today's economy, with costs increasing everywhere, it's probably been hard to remain profitable, especially when 70 to 80% of your patients that you treat and the revenue that you make comes from PPO insurance. So where do most practices turn to solve this low PPO reimbursement problem? Negotiating their PPO fee schedules. However, before starting the negotiation process, how will you know which procedures to even focus on? Will you try to increase your entire PPO fee schedule or just a couple of the procedure codes? Are your UCRs or your office fees lower than your current PPO reimbursements? Have you gone through and audited your UCRs against your PPO fee schedules to check? If not, and some of your UCRs are too low, you'll never be paid the maximum reimbursement to begin with. Unitas will actually review your annual production and each particular code to determine which procedures should be focused on most for the negotiation process. We'll also ensure that your UCRs are set competitively for your area and that they're at least higher than your PPO reimbursements. Additionally, we will use the correct formula based on your production history so you don't accidentally accept a fee schedule that actually ends up making you less revenue over time. All right, number 4, you may end up talking to the wrong person. Who do you plan on negotiating with? If you talk with a regular provider relations representative, they might not have the ability to negotiate, and they can quickly just tell you, sorry, we can't negotiate at this time. Or they might not have the ability to negotiate at a super high level, and they may provide you with some low, uncompetitive offers. Additionally, are you bringing anything to the negotiation table besides just wanting higher fees? At Unitas, we'll talk with our high-level PPO insurance contacts who have the power to negotiate competitively. At Unitas, we've negotiated for thousands of practices over the past decade, and we've credentialed thousands of new doctors with PPO insurance. So with that experience and the value of bringing PPOs, those new doctors, we bring leverage to the negotiation table that a practice just simply cannot match on their own. All right, reason number 3, you may get locked into a low fee schedule. Did you know that if you negotiate and accept a fee schedule increase, most PPOs are gonna lock you into that fee schedule for at least 2 years, maybe even more? This doesn't mean that you can never go out of network with an insurance company, but it does mean that you likely won't be able to renegotiate for more than 2 years. Unitas will ensure that we exhaust every best practice through negotiating and optimizing to get you onto higher reimbursements. At Unitas, our team of experts and the data from our existing and past clients helps us to know that we're getting you competitive reimbursement offers. Reimbursements worth being locked into for 2 or more years. All right, reason number 2, you won't know if your offer is competitive. If you get through to someone who is willing to negotiate, how do you know that it's a competitive offer? Will you just compare it to the other PPO reimbursements that you have? Will you compare it to your existing fee schedule from that PPO? Unfortunately, there is no online registry for dental reimbursement. If I wanted to know what my neighbor sold their house for last year, I can look that up. But that level of transparency doesn't exist in the dental field. In fact, the contracts that you've signed with PPOs restrict you from sharing your fees with your peers or your competitors. Luckily, Unitas represents thousands of locations and thousands more over the past decade. We have the data to know when an offer is competitive for your area or if we should keep pushing for more. We maintain professional working relations with the PPO carriers to ensure we don't breach confidentiality with them or with our own clients. With the data to provide context and leverage and our professional working relationship with the insurances, Unitas helps your practice to obtain competitive PPO reimbursements, which leads us to our number 1 reason why you should never negotiate PPOs on your own. Reason number 1, you may mess up your PPO participation and actually lower your reimbursements. Do you know exactly how you participate with your current PPOs? Are you directly contracted? Are you being leased through another insurance? Or are you falling underneath an umbrella network? Do any of these sound familiar? Have you called the PPOs you accept to verify this information per doctor, per location? If not, and you negotiate on your own, you may accept a new offer from an insurance company and unknowingly shift how you participate and drop that PPO and your other PPOs onto a worse reimbursement. In other words, negotiating blind without knowing your exact participation is risky and it can cause substantial issues. Unitas will gather your existing PPO participation, verify it per doctor, per location, per PPO. Then, armed with all that knowledge, we'll know exactly what strategies to use to negotiate, optimize, and increase your PPO reimbursements. As you can see, the risks of negotiating your own PPO reimbursements are super high. Unitas PPO Solutions has the expertise, the highly trained team, and the data to ensure your practice receives optimal PPO reimbursements. Not only that, but we have the results to back it up. If you'd like to learn more about how we can help your practice get higher PPO reimbursements, click the link down below to schedule a free consultation with our team today.